buried Ukrainian space ark in Kherson activates, leading to Russia executing takeover of this area. Now, we're going to go and take a look at it from Google Earth, and you can see it from way far away. Now, we know we had something of a very strange thing in Siberia, in the area where some kind of a dome was found that supposedly was an Earth protection system. And now we have this one here in the area near Crimea, that is just off Crimea towards, it's in part of Ukraine. Kherson. Kherson is a Greek word meaning peninsula. And we'll take a look at the map. So it was an ETX proclaiming that buried ancient space ark in Ukraine has been excavated and quote-unquote activated, whatever that means. It was only a matter of time before something paranormal was reported concerning Russia and Ukraine, and the first incident will be hard to top, real or otherwise. And it's about the time Russian troops went into the city of Kherson. Small number of websites reported an quote-unquote ancient space ark buried there had been activated and would be flying soon. Ancient space ark, flying soon. I don't know how they get that idea. They say, don't be surprised if it starts activation. Oletsky Desert National Park, and probably gets to be one of the first ships to go up in the air. Everybody sees now that the nations have an attention on Ukraine, it's probably going to be one of the first ones going up, and everybody's going to see it. Everything is going to come at a halt. Everybody's going to be shocked because of this. Supposedly, this is what some people are reporting. I don't know where they're getting this idea from. Let's go and take a look at the Google Earth area to see what it looks like. Here we are, Europe, England, Spain, France, Belgium, Holland, Germany. This is Warsaw, Poland, and this is Lithuania, and this is Kiev right here. This is Ukraine. All of this is Ukraine. You can see almost 2/3 of Europe. This is all Ukraine here, and this is Crimea, and this is Kherson. But look at that little spot there. That's supposedly where it is. Now remember that a couple of years back we talked about the 7 pyramids, these ancient pyramids in that line there. These very, very ancient pyramids in Crimea. Well, this thing here that you see there, that's a very round thing, and it's a desert. It's a sandy desert. Let's go into that. Right there. That's supposedly where this ark is. Okay, right there. Oleshki Sands National Nature Park. This is the area that we're talking about. You can see it's pretty round and it's sandy, and you've got more here. Now, I'm not surprised because this is a river delta. You can see rivers coming and emptying right here, this one here. Okay, and that's usually where you have a delta and all this sediment coming in, but that's sandy right there. And that's supposed to be the ark. And it's it's about 10,000 meters, 30,000 feet across. Okay, so this is supposedly the location of it. And they said this is going to take off and everyone's going to be overwhelmed by this. They said, don't be surprised if it starts activating, and everybody's going to be shocked because of this. And that quote comes from a source only known as JP, that's it. So you can see how, I wouldn't call that credible at all. But anyway, he said this was to have been given to Dr. Michael Sala, the founder of Exopolitics Institute, and Exopolitics.org website for the news concerning key individuals, political institutions, and processes associated with extraterrestrials. And Sala claims the space ark is buried under Oleshki Sands National Park right here. That's it right there, supposedly. Let's go to 3D. Okay. Can't really make anything out of it, but anyway, okay, that's it right there. Pulling out a little bit, okay. Ukraine's national park is about 15 miles east of Kherson, and the park is highly unusual because it's a semi-arid desert-like area covered with low fertility soil and sand. While open to tourists, the park is highly secured because it's next to a military training ground and maybe because of the buried space ark there. Now, I don't know, this is supposedly what JP is saying. JP said, I was first told about the Ukraine space ark by my longtime source, JP, said Salah, who currently serves in the U.S. Army and has been on covert missions to 2 other space arks. One mission was to the moon, he said, and the other 2 have been to the Bermuda Triangle of the Atlantic Ocean. All 3 missions were jointly conducted by U.S. and China, and the second Atlantic Ocean mission included Russia, which had found its own ark but was not giving the U.S. access. Scans for other info on space arks, quote unquote, come up empty, so we have to rely on Salah's revelations that these are sort of ancient spaceships found buried, 2 by the US and China, and 1 by Ukraine and 1 by Russia. His source is JP, saying experts have activated and flown the space arks, with 1 going to the moon. And Salah claims he confirmed JP's story with Thor Han Eridon, Galactic Federation pilot, who speaks telepathically to former French archaeologist and Salah's friend Elena Danon. And in January, Danon relayed that huge space arks have also been discovered on the moon and Mars, as well as Antarctica, but the ark of the moment is in Oleski Park here, as we see. And the coordinates, as well, okay, you can find it very easily. As we said, you can find it in this spot very easily because it's white off Crimea. That little white spot off Crimea, okay? That's Crimea right there. Sevastopol, what am I, that's not Crimea, I'm making a mistake. Where's Crimea? Anyway, that should be Crimea right there. Okay, so you can see it right there. It's a spot right there. There it is. Okay, very easy to find. That's Odessa right there. Okay, so, and okay, they said that this is not an invasion but part of a cleansing operation. Deep State was attempting to activate the ark, which they found many years ago buried underneath the sands, as we said here. Let's go back in. They found it buried under the sand in the lower southern part of Ukraine, and the ark activated, so it was time. Putin got it, he wants it, and there's a second ark in the north of Russia and Siberia, as we said before. Putin already has control of that, and he's been taught by positive extraterrestrials how to use that technology. This is really, really wild fantasy. Anyway, I'm just reading the article for you. Doesn't mean I agree with it, but anyway. Now, according to Salah, JP, Danon, and Thor Han, the purpose of all this could be to get this space ark, this ancient extraterrestrial space ark, and get the technology. And Salah said that's why Kherson is so important, because they want this space ark. So I'm reading this for you from Paul Sieber, Mr. Universe on journal.com. I'll leave a link below for you. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.